No. WFXR Sports.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I'm Jermaine Farrell, hoping your day is wonderful and blessed. Time now for the latest in sports news. The SPHL Final between the Roanoke Rail Yard Dawgs and the Birmingham Bulls is now a best-of-3 series for the President's Cup. With the Dogs having home ice advantage to Berglund Center, the site for tomorrow night's games, Roanoke would love to take the next two at the crib so they could become SPHL champs for the first time. But first, Game 3 tonight at the Berglund Center. Roanoke would already be down 1-0 in the first, but John Stampahar is going to get the equalizer. We are tied at 1 because that's what you do with an equalizer. Meanwhile, how about Roanoke's Nick Ford drives tough. Right here is going to get off the rebound, and look at that shot up in the corner. Gives Roanoke a 2-1 lead. The Bulls, however, and a few seconds later would tie it at 2 before the end of the first, and the goals would keep on coming. Case in point, second period, C.J. Stubbs gonna light the lamp. Roanoke up 3-2. That would be the only goal in the second period. The third period tied at 3, and Roanoke's Nick DeVito with the goal there gives the Dogs a 4-3 lead. But the Bulls, you'll see up in the upper corner, Joe Colatarsi with a hard hit on the Dogs' Nick DeVito. So Colatarsi would be ejected. Roanoke on a 5-minute power play due to that major, but Birmingham, shorthanded Carson, blooming like a rose, would tie it up at 4, and we would go to overtime. In the overtime, Dominic Marcinkiewicz would get Roanoke the puck from Matt O'Day. Roanoke gets the win over Birmingham in overtime, 5-4. They take a 2-1 series lead. The Dogs needing one more win to take the President's Cup. For the first time, they can do it tomorrow night at the Berglund Center. Speaking of the Berglund Center, let's roll down to the Berglund Center. We're live on the scene. WFXR Sports' David de Guzman. And David, wow, what a wild game, but it came out in Roanoke's advantage.
Yeah, Jermaine, wow is correct. What a game. Had just about everything you wanted. A back-and-forth affair, a 5-on-3 penalty kill by the Dogs, and then, of course, overtime with the game winner by Dom Marcinkiewicz. This is a team that is still motivated by how last season ended. In overtime, game number 4 against Peoria, they saw their opposing team lift that trophy. They did not want that to happen again, and that motivation carried them through those tired legs in overtime. Let's hear from the Dogs after this win.
Relieved for sure. We definitely made it harder on ourselves, but we prevailed. I mean, I think that's the beautiful thing about this team is we're resilient.
What'd you tell each other before that overtime session?
Forget about the rest of the game. It's a 20-minute game now. It doesn't matter what happened in the last 60. It doesn't matter what happened on that power play. We were determined to get the win, and I think we had to fight off a couple demons from our overtime loss against Peoria last year in the finals. So that was a good one to get off our back.
You know, we talked a lot going into this series. We talked a lot going into Game 3 against Peoria about not playing not to lose. You know, you gotta be willing to make mistakes, and that's kind of what we talked about going in. Is like you gotta let go a little bit. You gotta play the game, and you know, if you tighten up too much, you lose before you even started.
Yeah, you can tell both teams are tired, but unlike last year, Roanoke is in control. They can wrap up this series tomorrow night here at home. Dan Bremner said this was the loudest crowd he's ever seen at the Berglund Center, and he's expecting all of them to come back for game number 4 tomorrow night. Puck drop is at 7:05. Let's send it back to you.
Thank you so much, David. So Roanoke, one more win. It'd be great to clinch it at the Berg. But what excitement for the Roanoke Rail Yard Dawgs.
A lot of pressure on them, but also on the fans since they said it was such a packed crowd tonight. Got to beat it tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right.
Michael Jackson reference there with the beat it there. Okay, I got you.
All right, so something else cool.